All right, hello and welcome to Chemistry 110. We are going to be covering quite a bit of material. Now, this class assumes that you already know things like algebra and high school chem. If you don't know either of those, you're going to have quite a bit more trouble than you might otherwise. Especially algebra. I try to avoid a lot of math, but math is unavoidable. It's a form of symbolic logic. It is a very, very useful and powerful tool. If you can't solve for x, you're going to have a great deal of trouble. Now, the way we learn in this particular course is you have a textbook. It's an online textbook. It's completely free, although you can order a paper version, a hardbound copy of it, if you really, really want. That's up to you. That's entirely up to you. The point is to try and minimize your cost. There is also a not free textbook that you need to get. It's for the lab manual. The lab. You need that textbook, the lab manual. So you definitely are going to need both of those. What we do is you go ahead and you watch these videos on your own time. You read the textbook on your own time. You study and learn as you can. And then you come into class, and we have lab work and we have homework. Homework would ordinarily be done at home. Instead, it will be done in class. That way you can get the lectures, and any questions you have, you can ask me as normal, or you can put them in the comments below. But the homework, is independent study or small groups, and you can also ask questions for me then, which is something you would not ordinarily be able to do. Independent study is the best way to learn, and having me available to answer questions during that independent study is the best way to make use of your time. It's going to be a great way for you to learn this material. I will do some lecturing, of course. I'll go over the more difficult materials, the things that people are struggling with. But the best way is for me to work with you more one-on-one. Now, speaking of lab, for labs you're going to be divided into small groups, and groups of 3 or 4, and you'll be working with those groups in order to get these things done. I will go ahead and select the groups for you. That way we don't end up with any sort of ridiculous groups. I'll go ahead and select the groups for you, at least at first. Later there might be personality conflicts, who knows. Now, I expect you to go ahead and read the lab manual before you have to do the lab. And you should also go over the pre-lab questions. The pre-lab questions are a way of guiding you to do this stuff. Now, they're not required. I'm not going to be grading the pre-lab questions. But you will, it's very helpful. Okay? The pre-lab questions guide you through the things you need to know. Your lab mates will rather quickly learn if you're not the one doing that sort of prep work. If you're not the one doing the labs. If you're not reading the lab manual beforehand, and they will grow to hate you with a burning, fiery passion. As for post-labs, your post-labs are also not required. I'm not going to be requiring you to turn those in. But those will guide you and help you to understand the things you need to do, to understand, to know, in order to write up your lab report, which is a series of questions that I am going to give to you and expect you to hand in. And now we come to the $64,000 question. What are your grades going to be? Well, we have classwork, we have our lab reports, we have tests, and we have our final. Okay. And the classwork is going to represent 25% of your grade. Our lab reports are going to represent another 25% of your grade. The unit tests going to represent a third 25%, and the final, a final 25%. So 25% each. So the tests, by the way, the unit tests are non-cumulative. That means that each one only covers the material since the last test. Your final is cumulative, meaning it's going to cover everything in the class. There's something you are definitely going to need for this class. Besides a positive can-do attitude, you're also going to need a calculator. Okay? It's going to need to be a graphing calculator or a scientific calculator. Something that can handle the sort of difficult math you're going to need to do in this class. It needs to be able to handle scientific notation. You know, that is to say really, really big numbers or really, really small numbers. It needs to be able to handle logarithms. It needs to be able to handle 10 to the x, x to the y, e to the x, you know, natural log of x. It needs to be able to handle all sorts of math. And another thing is that it cannot be your phone, okay? Because you need to be able to use this on tests, and you can't use your phone on a test, okay? Once upon a time, maybe you could, but nowadays you have the darn internet on your cell phone. So no, just no, you have to get an actual calculator. And you should know how to use it. Next up, my office hours. I don't have an office, so I don't have office hours. However, I do make it a point to try and show up for class half an hour early to try and help people if they're, you know, embarrassed about asking questions in front of everyone, or they just want to, you know, grab that extra time. And I'm willing to stay, you know, a little bit late, not excessively late. You know, I get tired too, but you know, I'm willing to stay after class for a little while. So no office hours. Sorry about that. Now for the matter of safety. Not lab safety. We have a whole video for that we watch in class, and you pretty much take a little quiz on that. No, I'm talking about, you know, safety in face space, meet space, you know, out and about. This class is an evening course. It gets out, you know, kind of late, and some people might be concerned about that. And of course, you know, things being what they are, things can get weird, and you might, you know, want you know, a little extra security. Okay. Well, there is, you know, campus safety, which will do that for you. Campus safety likes to keep the campus safe. It likes to keep the students safe. And there is a phone number you can call. That's 803-778-6623. If you ever don't feel safe, you need someone to, you know, wait with you if you're waiting for a ride or anything like that. They offer a wide range of keeping people safe services. Campus security is available until 10:30 p.m. So that's well after our class lets out, but you know, not forever. And that does it for the introductory lecture. You know, lecture 0, as I call it, you know, covering the information that isn't part of the class itself.